Chapter 6, Part 2, page 70, second paragraph. Room 215 was just as Ralph had last seen it. The bed had not been made, and there were no fresh towels by the wash basin. Ralph ducked under the sheets and blankets that had tumbled off one side of the bed, and there in the dim light he caught the gleam of chromium exhaust pipes. Keith had trusted him after all. He walked across the carpet and took hold of the hand grips once more. They felt just right in his paws, and he longed to be off, speeding around the threadbare spots on the carpet. But a promise was a promise. Keith had kept his promise about the peanut butter sandwich. Ralph would keep his about not riding the motorcycle in the daytime. He tried to satisfy himself by walking around the motorcycle in the dim light under the bed, admiring all over again the sleek design of the machine. Ralph was lost in admiration and daydreams of speed and power when suddenly the door opened and the maid entered. It was too late to make a dash for the mouse hole. The maid stripped the blankets and sheets from the beds, shedding unwelcome light on Ralph and the motorcycle. Her feet in white sneakers moved lightly as she gathered up the sheets and pillowcases and towels and dropped them with a soft plop beside the open door. The next thing Ralph knew, he was hearing familiar and dreaded footsteps coming down the hall, steps he had learned to fear when he was a tiny mouse. It was the head housekeeper, the woman who is in charge of all the maids in the hotel. He recognized her steps, and he recognized her shoes. Stout, sensible black Oxfords. Nothing was ever clean enough for the head housekeeper, and Ralph's whole family lived in dread lest she discovered their mouse hole. Now he held his breath, hoping she would go on down the hall. But no, she stepped into room 215. "Good morning, Marjorie." The housekeeper spoke crisply to the maid. "Be sure you clean 215 and 216 very thoroughly this morning. There has been a complaint from the guests. They suspect mice." "Yes, ma'am," said the maid. "Look behind all the drawers," continued the housekeeper, "and in the corners of the closets. Please report any evidence of mice, and make sure you vacuum under the beds. You have been getting careless lately." With that, she walked briskly down the hall. "Old grouch," muttered the maid, as she reached into the hall for something that produced a sound that struck terror into Ralph's heart. It was a clang of vacuum cleaner attachments banging together.